What's up guys, my name is Sean Scott and today I'm going to show you what I use to vibe code every single day. I'm going to show you my agent development environment, what I use daily, what model I use to code, and what backend I use for everything. So let's get straight to it. Alright, so for the models, I primarily use Claude Opus 5 and I'm going to tell you why. So there is OpenAI 2, but at the end of the day, Anthropic just keeps winning the race to just the best coding model ever. If you look at these specs right here, you'll see that Fable 5 Max outperforms GPT 5.6 Sol Max at almost any coding task ever. And every time Anthropic releases a new model, then you'll see OpenAI release another bigger model. But at the end of the day, Claude just keeps winning and winning over this. So instead of just switching between pro plans of ChatGPT, because sometimes they might be ahead, I just go ahead and I just use Claude. There's a lot of talk between Claude and ChatGPT, but at the end of the day, Claude just keeps winning at this. So primarily, I use Claude Opus 5. So you can see the benchmark right here that Fable 5 Max does win, and you're wondering why I'm using Opus. The reason why is because Opus 5 Max scored a 70.0% on a cursor benchmark. But it only costed $8.23. But with almost the same exact score, Fable 5 Max scored a 70.5, but costed almost double the price. So if you're using a Claude Pro or maybe a Claude 5X plan, you'll find your money's worth and the quality of your code best be with Opus 5 Max. And then you'll see down here that GPT 5.6 Sol Max does score a 76.2. Again, you'll see in the near future that maybe GPT 5.6 does way better than Fable 5, but then Anthropic just keeps taking over the throne maybe a few weeks later. And over time, when they release these models, they tend to just keep updating the same model. And today, 5.6 Sol just went 20% lower in cost while also doing 15% a better token generation efficiency. So stuff like this is really cool to see, but if you just want stability over a single model, right now, Claude is the way. Now let's talk about our agent development environment. So this is what you use to spawn a swarm of agents to start vibe coding. This is like the tool you use to build it. So there is a multitude of tools that you can use. What I use daily is called Orca. If you don't know, I live stream almost every day vibe coding. And if you told me about this app right here called Orca, and I'm absolutely loving it. And what they're really good at is running a fleet of agents or multiple terminals at once. So this is what I really like, is you can run multiple terminals at once and just have different tabs over. It's way better for doing multiple tasks at once. My second favorite is called Conductor. They're also a YC-backed company. If you guys are scared of terminals, then Conductor is just the way to go. Instead of having terminals, you just have a straight chat like this, where you can just say chat to it. You can edit the model. You can change the effort. You can do plan mode. So if you don't want to mess with terminals and just go super hardcore right now, Conductor is the way to go. Every time you add a new kind of tab, it creates a whole new work tree. So when you're working on multiple stuff at once, I recommend you use different work trees so stuff doesn't collide together. Conductor is really good at having multiple work trees while also having just a visual element that some people might like instead of just doing terminals. And of course, there's also Claude Code and Codex. Now these are almost exactly the same. It's just one of the things where you put in the project like Ching Landing and you just do run npm run dev. It is not as advanced as I wish it was. It's still more or less for older people in a way, or just people who are just building simple projects. But if you're just one of those people who just do it on the side, Claude Code or Codex is perfect for you. But if you are trying to build your own company or a SaaS product, then Conductor or Orca is the way to go. I highly recommend this if you guys are very new to Claude, or very new to Claude Code. It's a good way to start. This is how I started last year before vibe coding was a huge thing. It worked for me and it's perfect to go. And for the actual backend, I recommend Supabase, and let me tell you why. So when you're having a backend, you're gonna have to add edge functions, authentication layers. You're gonna have a Postgres database. It has to be inside of a Docker container. Anything with storage, it has to be on its own EC2 instance of AWS. But what Supabase does is they kind of just put it all in one big package and let your model just be able to go ham. Not really ham, but let me give you more details. So this is a side project I was working on called OpenClaw-Arena, and I'm going to show you exactly how we configured our Supabase to work with OpenClaw-Arena. If you guys don't know what it is, it's an AI agent hackathon. It's a project I kind of disbanded, but it's good to show this for an example. So of course you'll have the database, and then the database will have tables, and with PostgreSQL, it's a relationship-based database. And then you have authentication. I'm going to blur all this out, but you can see all your different users. And you can add different sign-in providers, so it could be Google, Apple, apparently Web3, phone, stuff like that. So you can add that too. Same with storage. So if you're building a text messaging app and you want to store photos so people can send in photos, you would use Supabase storage to store those photos. And then edge functions is basically backend scripts. I'm not going to go too deep into that. And then the way to connect your model to it is Supabase has an MCP. So all you got to do is whenever you're building your app, you basically start up the project once on Supabase, you give them MCP access. And what Claude will do is, as it's building its own app, it will build out and spec out the entire database. You might have to do some stuff, but it'll set up authentication mainly. It will set up, Supabase storage, RLS policies, so your database is secure. I highly recommend Supabase. And for actually hosting the app, let me show you what I use. So for actually hosting your app on the website with a domain, I use Netlify. With my experience, when I started vibe coding, a IDE called Windsurf pointed me to Netlify, and I just haven't switched since. So this is what I use daily for all Unity stuff. But there's other stuff, like you might have heard of Vercel. Vercel is another hosting platform that I use sometimes. They're actually what I recommend the most. Netlify is okay. I'm just stuck with it, but Vercel is also really good at hosting stuff, especially if it's a Next.js site. For any YC company, they also use Vercel. There's a lot of credits that come with Y Combinator. So if you guys ever want to host something, I highly recommend Vercel. That's basically all. I know it's a little bit of a short video, but I wanted to show you all what I use daily. If you guys don't know yet, I stream almost every day on YouTube and Twitch, vibe coding, building different products, reviewing your guys' projects. So if you guys like that idea, I can't wait to see y'all there. I'm also launching a Discord server called Above. We are a founder/vibe coding Discord server. It's a great community. I would love for y'all to join. It's right here, discord.gg/above. Would love to see y'all there. If you guys want more videos like this, or if I got something wrong inside the video, let me know in the comments. I want to know your thoughts and everything. And yeah, hope you have a good day, man. I'll see y'all later.